He actually did do. Okay, this actually.
You did say scheduled substitution.
This is the God honest truth, Dan. He did that was off on me. Off on me, coach thing during the game. I'm not even kidding. Like, dead serious.
Witty.
He did that. I went to kick the ball in because I thought it went off of the other team, and Witty goes, "Oh, that was actually off on me."
That's honorable.
And then he did. He said the line from the commercial. What's the line from the commercial?
It went off me, coach.
It went off me, coach.
You said Clive,
and I called him a motherfucker in front of the rest of the whole team. I was like,
my
"You
God.
motherfucker!" And then these people are like, "Who is she?"
What happened to top 5 workers from the elbow?
Oh, we're getting to it.
Let's do it right now, Tony. Are you ready? The top 5 workers from the elbow.
Yeah, Dan, born ready.
As we wait for Mike Golic Jr., who will be here in moments, and we wait for Jamel Hill. You will hear from Jamel Hill and see her on a YouTube exclusive. We'll talk about this Sage Steele thing, but let's do it. Number 5, Tony.
Dan, I actually have an outside looking in because this list is so
Wow.
much more than 5. It's 10, actually. Yeah, sorry, it's 10.
Outside looking
Yeah,
in.
10.
Let's go. Who's on the outside looking in?
Number 10, Elton Brand.
Excellent. Number 9.
PJ Brown.
Yeah. Yep.
Number 8.
Sheed.
Yeah.
Number 7.
Pau Gasol.
I mean, it's all good.
I mean, he lived at the elbow.
it's all
I mean,
good.
He did.
Excellent list.
Number 6. These
Chris
are
Bosh.
These are all outside looking in. These are all outside looking in.
All right, here it is.
So wait a minute. If Chris Bosh is number 5, then LaMarcus Aldridge is not on here.
Well, I mean, hold on.
Just
we're trying to do a
lives
thing
to
here,
ruin
yeah.
these lists.
Yeah.
We're trying to do a thing here.
Chris Bosh
Actually,
is
hold off. Mike Golic Jr. just entered, so we'll get to your top 5 operators from the elbow.
Oh, man. Elbow operators. I mean, you have 5 better than that?
okay, but I understand. But Chris Bosh, he is from the elbow. Better at being from the elbow than LaMarcus Aldridge is being from the elbow.
Knock it off with LaMarcus. I mean, get over it.
Okay, but when you guys tell me to back off.
L.A. I mean,
Yes, thank you, Stugotz.
you got it.
We will get to Tony's top 5 from the
I love
elbow.
when Tony tries to talk, but I control his mic, so he can't. He's just talking into the mic.
I've been talking
He's
for
been giving
minutes.
his
I don't
top
know what's
5.
happening.
But
I so
no one
badly
can
want
hear him.
number 5. I want it right now. I just want 5.
No, we'll get all right. Number 5 only. Let's
Just
go,
5.
Tony. Just number 5. Who's number 5?
David West.
Oh, wow.
David West from the elbow. This
Can I
is
get number
very
4?
exciting.
That's his
Gonna get
mailing
number 4.
address. His mailing address is the elbow.
All right, give me number 4.
I mean, it is.
All right, give me number 4.
wanna get
Give me
excited.
number 4. Give me
Number
number Yes.
Zebo.
So much from the
He lives
elbow.
with West.
Okay,
I mean,
keep it.
amazing.
Hold on to it because as excited as we were there, we're not as excited there.
No, wait, please. Give me number 3.
Just 3.
One more.
Give me number 3.
Number 3. All right, number 3 from the elbow.
LaMarcus Aldridge.
Can't be better from the elbow than Chris Bosh is.
It does not get better than this.
That's offensive. This is no.
I got 2 more.
I want him now. Hold
Shut
on
your
to
mouth when you're talking.
Hold on to it.
Yes, look into my eyes when you say
You-
it.
That's not true.
Just look into my eyes.
Hold on.
Shut your mouth.
Hold on. Hold it.
Right
don't
into my
look-
eyes.
No, I'm not liking how this is escalated. Tony, don't look into
Look
his
right
eyes.
here.
This is too much. Tony, this is too intimate.
Look into mine.
Just look right into
Tony, don't look into Stugotz's eyes. I don't.
Just
I-
one eye on me,
No,
one eye on
no.
Stugotz.
Yes. Can you do that?
Yeah.
All right,
Number
Tony,
2.
number 2
I like
from the
that.
elbow. Two from the elbow.
You look creepy. The big ticket.
Oh, my God. KG.
Yes, that's pretty good. All right, stop. No.
Never
Wait,
stop.
Stop.
Never
No,
stop.
just stay, Tony.
My heart's racing.
Tony, stay right there. Just stay. Everybody's heart is racing, but
This is like stopping in the middle of sex.
look at. Thank you
It
for
is.
pointing out what was
Just
like-
clearly obvious already.
Mid-pump.
This is
Hubba.
this is where we've all been for a minute, but now
Mike, who do you think number 1 is?
I'm still enjoying number 2.
Oh, God.
the big ticket. But before we get to number 1, look who's in the Zoom.
When I say go, you say Joe. Go, Joe, go, Joe, go, Joe, go, Joe. Yeah.
We are very excited.
Who's number 1?
Thank you.
I mean-
Who is number 1? You stay there for a second.
I have a couple ideas, man.
Who do you think, Mike? You want to?
It's another nickname.
You're going to
Played
ruin
in the
it.
same era.
Do you have any guesses, Golic? Do you have any guesses?
I don't want to ruin the moment right now. Who's
Okay.
rolling it?
From the elbow. I don't want to get to it yet, though. You did, forgive me, because we're very happy for you, because it seems to me like you did a big, brave thing. You were getting the commercials at ESPN. You were on the path to, I think, getting all the things that your father was supposed to have at the end, and then you said, bleep it, I'm out of here, and you disappeared for a while. Am I misreading the situation? Because the last time I saw you, you were eating mayonnaise and making a total mockery of a college bowl game, and I was just really enjoying. I was kind of shocked that you had the freedom and the balls to do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I knew things had changed because you actually texted me, Dan. That was the first time I think I had ever heard from you. So I was like, oh, wow, all right. I got to capitalize
At
on
4
this
a.m., I
situation
assume.
Yes, of course.
You made him proud,
It was in the middle of the game. Dan called me in the middle of the first quarter. I looked down and I saw Miami area code, and I was like, this possibly be? And I listened to the message in the next commercial break. I was like, I just respect that he was like, you know what? Maybe he'll pick it up. Maybe it'll happen.
No, I just
He didn't FaceTime you?
When I was the thing that I was moved by what you had done, honestly, sincerely, because I was so happy that somebody who came in at ESPN through his father would be making a joke of the whole thing of college football.
But he has done many great things, said many smart things, and the only time he ever reached out to him was when he was eating mayo on national TV.
Because of how smart I thought it was for him to be so stupid.
I appreciate you giving me that kind of credit, truly.
Because you were taking the form and you were laughing at it. You were laughing at the whole thing, and I'm like, God Almighty, I've been wanting people to do this only forever.
Well, and while maybe I don't think I'm smart enough to deserve all the credit for the way that you've engineered that, I will say that it's always, and this is something Stugotz and I have talked about when Stugotz was giving everyone the runaround on doing college lacrosse games and then would randomly vanish at the last minute there. But when we would talk about that, the whole point was so many of these broadcast booths, everyone takes this too seriously. It's college bleeping football. The whole point is that we have weird mascots that look like giant red orbs. We've got this crazy game that's got bowl game sponsors like Duke's Mayonnaise who are willing to do this. So it should be that way. Like maybe you wouldn't call, there's some reverence for the games at the top of all this, but the rest of it, we should be enjoying this. This should be a product that we can try and enjoy, because the other portion of it is it's not like I'm ever going to do wrong by the kids. Like that's the other part of covering college football for me was always, especially inside ESPN that we know controls all the media rights for this. Like you've got to have people that are willing to speak up in favor of the athletes that, Dan, I hear you talk about all the time, are continuously left out of this, have started to now find some voice and be able to subvert the system a little bit, but for so long didn't have a lot of people speaking for them. And so that's, the only perspective I can really adopt is what those guys are going through and wanting to make sure I do right by them.
Gojo, it sounds like Vegas got the best of you last night. Like it really does.
Man, let me tell you what. Stugotz, I have been on an absolute roll right now. I went my sister's wedding, into Notre Dame football alumni reunion, into Chris Long's golf tournament, into Las Vegas. I am hanging on by a thread right now. I am sweaty. I have just an absolute rocket of phlegm sitting in the back of my mouth.
I'm so proud of you.
Quite literally on a roll.
Yes.
Picked up some Molly out there. All right.
You're free now. You're free now. You don't have to worry about these things anymore. You are now. Can you explain to the audience, Mike, why you chose what you did? Like, I want to talk to you about the draft, but why did you have left? You were silent for 3 months. You are now starting the Gojo show. It's with you. It's Monday, May 2nd, and you're doing it with your best friend, former Notre Dame teammate. So you've just decided I didn't want to do the traditional path because you could have followed your father to riches and fame and been on ESPN for 25 years.
Yeah, and I think for me, it was just right time, right opportunity, right? I had seen what the partnership with DraftKings had done with you guys. I had seen that this was starting to bear legitimate fruit. They came through with, and the right amount of, time and money, to be honest. That always helps. But it was also just looking at my current situation, like I'm 32, single, living in central Connecticut where I've lived my whole life. And there's an opportunity here for maybe a little bit better work-life balance. There's an opportunity here to do something that's got more flexibility, both creatively and schedule-wise. And so all of those things, I didn't leave with a bad taste in my mouth at ESPN. Obviously, there's the stuff relative to dad that will always tick me off a bit. But in my case, I know what that place did for me, to your point, and the opportunities it was affording me. So it was a hard decision, but one of those where I just looked and said, when am I going to have an opportunity to maybe go and get in on the ground floor of something like this, go and actually build and create something? Because inside the four letters, as you guys know, with very few exceptions like you guys and a rare few others, for the most part, you end up feeling kind of like a product of the machine. You're never quite sure how much does someone enjoy me, how much does someone just enjoy the safety and security that ESPN and the four letters provide. And so all those kind of mix together for me to say, all right, if not now, then when, and to kind of go for it and take that chance.
Support this person. The Golics have become like family for Stugotz because he is in and out of their lives. And his father has a podcast with Jessica.
We're so close that I spent the entire night lamenting I never trademarked the name Gojo. I mean, I came up with it. I should have trademarked it. We could have sold it Gojo. That was a colossal mistake on my part.
You want to trademark
came up
someone
with it?
else's name?
Gojo, who gave you the nickname? Who gave it to you?
I mean, it was Mike.
It was Mike.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Mike, you should have trademarked it.
80-20 Stugotz's way,
90-10
everybody.
in this case,
It was all his idea. We are happy for you, and we're asking the audience to support the Gojo Show with Mike Golic Jr. because it's a special project. Like, how cool is this for you? What an absurd life, dude. I mean, people can accuse you of nepotism and everything else, but you parlayed your dad's name and your brother's name and their Bristol connections into now I get to work with my best friend everyone can bleep off.
Yeah, it was one of those things. Listen, I like you pointed out there, I was always pretty open and honest about it. And so I was like, all right, I'll come in, work hard, and try and honor the opportunity and make the best of it. But like you said, I mean, so Brandon Newman, who's my co-host, who's also the producer on the show, is played D tackle for us for 3 years at Notre Dame. We took basically every class together, and I've known him sort of going on his opposite end of the media journey for the last 7 years. And that was another one, just to have the ability and the I guess agency in this process where I was actually asked, hey, who do you think would be a good name for a producer on this? Who would help you on all that? And for them to actually go through and then hire him was pretty awesome.
Forgive me here for a second, Mike. Stugotz, you're not doing anything from Las Vegas. Golic is in Las Vegas right now. Do you love the draft? Do you hate the draft?
Oh, do I? I love the draft. I think it's what an incredibly ridiculous event that we get to be a part of here, because everyone always points out no one actually loses when it comes to the draft. That's the best part of all this. So we used to go out here and turn it into one big football party. I mean, I'm always going to be a bit of a sucker too for watching young men change their lives and their families' lives forever. Like, we all lament Roger Goodell and, he gets the booze, and rightly so that night, but guys are walking across that stage and then everything has the potential to change for them. Everything has the potential, all their hard work realized. And I know everyone talks about now getting to the second contract, but man, you're still making, upwards of 7 figures a year on this thing. And to me, that's just incredible to get to watch all of that realize, because I know, an iota of the work it takes to go into that, to see that moment for all of these guys that I don't even think half of them realize it's just been the natural progression for so many of these guys. But you get to watch that sort of cathartic moment for him in a lot of cases.
You just asked a Golic if he loves the draft. A Golic. A Golic.
Please, Dan, you need to learn to respect the Golics a little bit more. Mike, are you going to try to get on one of those little gondolas that's apparently going to be going around the Bellagio fountain, like to the stage with the players on it? I heard that was in the works 2 years ago, and it might be back this year.
Yeah, I know there was some talk about all that. So I was asked yesterday by someone, and I thought it was a pretty important question, is would there be the gondola drivers kind of like you would see in Venice in Italy? And if so, that feels like my best opportunity to potentially sneak into this, is to just get around there close enough. I don't know if they're going to do this shirtless like old Abercrombie models in front of the store, but I'm willing to take one for the team and get out there and do what I knew it needs to be done.
Are they indeed gondola drivers? Are they called drivers? Are the people who
operators? I feel like.
I don't know how
Horsemen?
You might want to learn it before you get on and try to make a spectacle of the thing. Mike, really happy for you, thrilled for you, happy to be by your side during this DraftKings fun.
He might want to stick around for Tony's number one. I mean, he might want to stick around
let's
for it.
do it. Are you ready? Is everyone ready? Tony's number one, the number one shot from the elbow, ahead of the big ticket,
Please
LaMarcus Aldridge, David West, Chris Bosch. Your guy, you've got, who is the guy?
I'm writing down a name right now.
You're writing down a name.
Here.
Who is
Don't
the guy?
you dare say it.
I
Do
will
not
not say it. Who is the guy?
Let's recap for a second again. So 5 was David West, 4 was Zebo, 3 was LaMarcus Aldridge, 2 is Christmas, but also the big ticket. And number 1, in Mike's dreams and his nightmares, he sees this off-legged fadeaway from the elbow. Dirk Nowitzki.
Yes, you did get it, Stugotz. It is indeed the indisputable Dirk. Thank you, Mike, and congratulations.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Get some sleep.